Hi, Thriller Recaps here. Today, I am going to explain the movie Against the Ice, explaining every scene as it happens. Watch till the end, and please like, share and subscribe if you enjoy this. A man is running on ice with a sled, and there are dogs tied to a frozen ship who start barking. Some men with lanterns go to see what's happening and find their captain, who's cold and hurt. They bring him inside, and he asks them for whiskey. They cut off his frozen, bad toes. Later, in a room, some men take a picture and eat together. The captain asks them to toast to their loved ones at home, the men who died, and their mission. He shows them a diary and a map he and Jorgensen found, which might lead to a new land. He asks for a volunteer to go with him to explore more. Iverson offers to go. He tries to learn how to use the sled and dogs but struggles. Jorgensen, away from the others, apologizes to Ejner for letting him down and says that Iverson, being a mechanic, might not survive in the icy wilderness. Jorgensen expresses his concerns to Ejner about their upcoming mission, worrying about their safety and his own age. Despite the back and forth, Ejner decides they'll leave the next day, marking locations on the map and clutching a locket with a woman's picture. On the 1st of March in 1910, a photo is taken of Ejner and Iverson, and they set out on their journey, with good wishes from their companions, especially Iverson. They ride on a sled, and after reaching the top of an icy mountain, they set up camp. Later, their lead dog causes a stir, and Iver asks to join them in the tent. On the 26th day, while Ejner studies the map, Iver starts singing. As they continue, Iver inquires about Mylius Eriksson, and Ejner shares the story of how they found only one of the men's bodies. The following morning, Ejner teaches Iverson a trick to make the sled go faster on the ice, but the dog's frantic barking indicates the scent of land, causing them to crash the sled. Ejner ties a rope to himself, instructing Iverson to descend and retrieve the sled. While doing so, Iverson tries to save the lead dog, but the rope snaps, leading to the dog's tragic fall. They camp there for the night and proceed the next morning, finally crossing the ice mountain. On the 48th day, Iverson questions Ejner's motivations and whether he has someone special waiting for him at home. Ejner throws the question back at Iverson, realizing it's what he's skilled at. Ejner explains the importance of the expedition, and inside the tent, Iverson shows him pictures he found on the ship. They joke about naming women in the pictures, and Iverson playfully pairs Ejner with a woman named Naja. The next day, they resume their journey. Iverson returns to Ejner with bad news: there's no food or water for the dogs. They struggle with the stove, and Ejner asks Iverson to fix it. They make a tough decision to kill one of the dogs and feed its meat to the others. On the 84th day, Iverson implies they're running out of supplies, hinting at defeat. Just as hope seems to fade, Ejner spots a cairn as described in the diary and rushes to it. They find signs of a camp made by Mylius Eriksson and his team, and beneath a stone, Ejner discovers a scroll with a letter stating that the Peary Channel, which the Americans talked about, doesn't exist, making Greenland a continuous landmass. Iverson warms some oxtail soup left in the cairn, and they drink it, preparing to head back. Sadly, one of the dogs dies from exhaustion, and Iverson manages to salvage its liver. He tells Ejner it might be poisonous, and the only way to check is by using Ejner's silver locket. They test the silver method, confirming that the liver is safe to eat, so they consume it and continue their journey. While Iverson is about to hunt for food, he's drawn back by the dog's barking, and upon reaching Ejner, he finds some dogs dead, with a polar bear attacking Ejner. Iverson shoots the bear multiple times until it dies, but the bear's weight breaks the ice, causing it to collapse with Ejner. Iverson pulls Ejner out of the freezing water and takes him to the tent to warm up. There, he shares a story about wanting to join the Navy at 16. The next morning, Iverson finds Ejner burning what remains of their sled, emphasizing the need to travel light from then on. On the 164th day, they're traveling with only the bags on their backs, and Ejner consults the map, suggesting they need to cross over to the other side. Iverson wonders why they can't go around the mountain instead of climbing it, but Ejner explains they're short on time. To prepare for the worst, they build a cairn and place their journals inside. Returning to the Alabama ship, they find it deserted, converted into a shelter. The two lieutenants face a committee, explaining their situation and the year's worth of food left in the hut, requesting a rescue team. However, the committee rejects their plea, believing Ejner and Iverson may already be dead and it would be a waste of funds. Despite this, Ejner assures Iverson that a passing ship will eventually rescue them. They carry on with their lives, making do with what's left in the hut. Ejner insists they return to the cairn to retrieve the evidence they left, in case a bear might disturb it, but Iverson suggests leaving a note for any potential visitors at the hut. Ejner dismisses the idea, and they recover the evidence. On their way back, they stumble upon Milius Eriksson's automobile and share a moment of fascination with it. Returning to the hut, they find a note from a visitor who came looking for them. Iverson is upset that Ejner was indifferent about leaving a message, leading to a heated argument. Ejner breaks things in frustration, while Iverson watches with a troubled expression. In the city, the head of the board informs Jorgensen that a search was conducted, but they couldn't locate Ejner or Iverson and advises giving up on their rescue. Ejner and Iverson spend their first Christmas in the hut. Iverson corrects Ejner, reminding him that it's their second Christmas in the hut and third in Greenland, and they raise a toast to hope. On the 793rd day, Ejner sits outside, writing in a book, and when Iverson returns, he inquires about Ejner's well-being, to which Ejner responds with a vague sound. Ejner goes to check their flag, hoping to spot someone, and sees a hot air balloon. He chases after it and encounters a woman he calls Naja, though it's a hallucination. Iverson notices a boil on Ejner's neck but is brushed off. Ejner continues to have hallucinations about Naja without Iverson's awareness. When Iverson asks Ejner if he still believes a ship will rescue them, he doesn't answer. Iverson decides to look for help in both directions in case a passing ship might be nearby. Grandfather on the hill, suspecting that his grandfather passed away while they were stranded in Greenland. Ejner continues to hallucinate about Naja, who tries to convince him that he could have been happy at home with her, but he insists on fulfilling his mission. In a moment of distraction, Ejner plays music and dances with the hallucination of Naja, who attempts to examine a boil on his neck, which he resists. When Iverson enters the room, Ejner asks him to leave. Later, Ejner approaches Iverson with a knife, seeking help to lance the boil. After some hesitation, Iverson does so, causing Ejner to pass out. The next day, Ejner shares a dream about home, while Iverson mentions dreaming of Naja. Iverson leaves to find food, and in his absence, Ejner, consumed by anger, contemplates killing Iverson for his dreams. A heated argument ensues, with Ejner punching Iverson and attempting to shoot him, but Iverson manages to disarm him and puts the gun away. During their meal, Ejner inquires about their remaining food supply, to which Iverson somberly reveals it's running low, and they're also running out of ammunition. A polar bear tries to break into the hut, but Ejner and Iverson manage to scare it away. While sleeping, Ejner hears noises, waking Iverson, and they venture outside, suspecting the bear's return, only to discover men outside. They are rescued, and a letter is sent to the board leader, notifying them of the discovery. After being cleaned up, an announcement is made, during which Ejner expresses gratitude to Iverson for their time together. A woman named Naja approaches them backstage, leaving Iverson in shock when she reveals her name. The two men are honored and rewarded for their significant discovery.